Represent.
Vanessa with queen 9 offsuit.
This is well within Vanessa's unopened cutoff raising range.
And she does raise it to 1,300. 9-6 of hearts for Antonio.
Poker's kind of cool in that way. You could tell someone that your entire thinking and then go ahead and raise and bluff, and it's still hard for them to call.
Jamie Gold started that.
Yeah, it worked for him for 5 days or,
Yeah.
or 9 days.
I don't think it worked after that. Once they saw that.
Antonio calls.
If he could just flip the script sometimes and go up, you know, then it might work for him.
He can't do it. It's amazing.
Jack tray for Friedman.
Prahlad must be a little distracted by this conversation if he's thinking of playing this hand.
And he folds. And Huggins is out.
I think if it was no limit pre-flop, I might just put in some big re-raises. This pot limit holds me back a little bit.
Yeah, that's the point.
Heads up to the flop, 6-10, 4-2 diamonds. Antonio with middle pair.
Middle pair and the best hand. Vanessa with the lead.
Bets 2,300.
Antonio probably can't fold a pair to just one bet.
Makes the call.
Vanessa also could have been semi-bluffing some backdoor draws.
Turn. 3 of diamonds. Selbst picks up flush outs.
Vanessa just picked up a lot more outs, though a 9 high flush draw isn't so hot.
She checks it.
Vanessa may be giving up with that check. Antonio can't be in love with the diamond.
Bets out 5,200.
Antonio's looking to protect. There aren't a lot of good cards that can hit for him. Looks like I may have prematurely called for self-surrender. Perhaps she has sensed that Antonio is weak and can maybe blow him off his hand. Here come the 5K chips.
It appears that Vanessa left her white flag backstage, Joe. She is raised to 21,400.
This is a pretty insane bluff with only queen high, but if you look at Antonio's hand, this could work. Betting the flop and then check raising the turn with air is affectionately known sometimes as the stack-a-donk play. It's actually a little outdated, but it looks very strong. Antonio's probably wondering to himself how often Vanessa would do this with an actual hand, though.
Antonio does not believe he makes the call.
A tough call, but a good one. Gulp.
The river. Deuce of spades.
Now that might look like a brick, but Vanessa could have been semi-bluffing a 5 on the turn just as easily as she semi-bluffed her diamonds. She's met adequate resistance from Antonio the whole way, so I'm fairly certain she knows she can't win this pot by checking. So the question is surrender or fire one last bullet. She's loading up.
And Vanessa fires 59,700 on a stone bluff.
There it is, the overbet. We've been here before. This bet is supposed to polarize Vanessa's hand, nuts or air, and Antonio can pretty much only beat air. This would be an absolutely sick call. Vanessa could very easily have played a huge hand the same way.
59-7.
59-7.
By overbetting, she's given him really tough odds to make the call, not even getting 2-1. Is a pair of sixes going to win enough to justify those odds? Not likely.
Antonio with 119,000 behind.
He's probably still thinking about that check raise on the turn. If she had a big hand, would she really have given him the chance to check behind? Finally, and people discount this more than they should, Vanessa has the stupidity factor in her favor. If Antonio calls and he's wrong, he feels stupid.
I think Antonio turned straight with like a 5-7 suited.
Yeah.
And,
What is she?
and then I think she has a flush. I think she has it.
Worst read ever.
Well, that's what Prahlad the couch cannon thinks, but it's Antonio's read that counts here. And Antonio fold. What is going on? Antonio folds.
Little bit dirty on the pump fake by Antonio, but Vanessa, wow, what a sick bluff.
Nice hand.
Thank you.
Hand 79, Vanessa opened for 1300. I was on the button, and on this particular hand, I have 6-9 suited. I had position and decided just to call it.
And I know that he can call me with a really wide range of hands. Queen 9 offsuit on the cutoff. You know, a lot of players would fold that, but I've been folding so much that I think it's an easy open for me.
The flop came out 10-6-4 with 2 diamonds. She led for 2300. I think she's leading there with all sorts of hands, just at the chance that I missed, and she's taking a stab at the pot.
For this board texture, normally with all of my value hands and also my bluffs, I'm going to be betting about 3/4 of the pot.
I have a pair of 6s, and so of course I call in position. I don't want to raise here and get re-raised and, you know, not know what to do.
At this point, I think that he could still have a very, very wide range of hands.
The turn came out at 3 of diamonds, which is not exactly the best card for me. She checked, and I regret betting, but I thought perhaps my 6 was the best hand. I didn't want to let her have a free card at a diamond or whatnot.
When I check and he bets 5,200, the thing is that Antonio really likes to bet after you check to him on the turn. I also know that he knows that I can play pretty tricky, so I think that he thinks that I'm less likely to make a really big bluff.
I was prepared to fold if I got check raised, and that's exactly what happened. She check raised me to 21,400, at which point I decided when I bet that I was probably going to fold if I got check raised. And for some reason, I got a little stubborn, and I wanted to take one off here and see perhaps if she really had it or if she was bluffing, and so I called.
And I know that when he calls me that he now has a real hand, but I think that he could call me and just hope that I shut down on the river.
If the board paired or maybe another diamond came off, I was going to try and rep those hands as well. The river came at 2 spades, and she let out for 59-7.
When I bet really big, I just thought that he would think that I wasn't likely to pull a big bluff like that on him.
I wasn't too happy about my hand. I only had a pair of 6s, but she either had a flush or she didn't have a flush.
I give him a lot of reasons to think that I might play a flush in this fashion.
She made a pretty decent-sized bet, and I didn't want to call it and be wrong. And so after some deliberation, I just decided that she had it.
And he folded, and that was it.
If she bluffed me, great job.